Welcome to the Immerse podcast. We are your hosts, Alex O'Keefe and Dan Ramsden.
We aim to immerse you in education via our guests, bring communities together, embrace positive change and help create solid habits that yield the path for our health and longevity.
Right, here we go. Let's go, Dan. Let's get this show rolling.
Let's go.
How's it going, everybody?
How do, guys?
It's me and Dan again for a check-in, mate. We like to do this every 6 months or so.
Yeah, I believe it's been a touch longer, maybe.
A touch longer,
I think.
But we've had a pretty wild 6 months, like normal. So, we've had transformations within the brand, personal transformations, we've had life, we've had injuries, we've had fasting, we've had a new life in my family. So there's loads to catch up on today, mate. We've got a big announcement to make for the brand as well, which we will save till a bit later. So, can I just say, I'm feeling buzzing.
Me too.
What a morning that's been.
Must have been that Joe Smooth coffee that we had as well.
Joe Keys again at Heiss is a bugger, him. He's a bugger. But no, like the energy that I feel when I get together with you, mate, is wonderful. So thank you for that.
Likewise.
We're on a mission, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Just to kind of drop in before we go into this one, some of the guests and events that we've got lined up with the podcast and the brand is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I like these sessions that we do because it offers a bit of time of reflection, and it's something that we touched on with Tom in the last episode. Sometimes when you're a forward thinker and you're always doing that and planning and preparing for what's coming and forecasting and all the rest of it, which is important, but also to slow it down and to think about what's gone and what we've done and the people that we've been around. We just spoke about it earlier, didn't we? That, the people that we've met on this journey and the vibes that we've had.
It's the best thing.
It's just awesome, isn't it?
It's the best thing, mate.
Yeah.
It all started with a podcast, meeting interesting folk, and it's just grown into something that we didn't even expect in terms of, we're building bespoke saunas for people now, for businesses, for sports clubs, putting crazy sort of quotes in. It's just like, how did this happen? But it's happening because we've started everything with the right intention. We started having conversations, genuine, curious conversations with interesting folk who have a lot of value to offer to people, as well as us. And, I think it just goes to show that if you are looking at starting a new venture, or just be curious, do it for the right reason, and God willing, good things will happen, and things will fall into place where you just think, how the fucking hell's that happen?
Yeah.
We've had so many moments like that, haven't we?
Yeah, and I think for me it's not allowing that imposter syndrome to come in and think, I don't deserve these opportunities, and sometimes that can be a theme for a lot of people, where it's like, I don't know if I deserve this, and or they might sabotage it for some reason, or say, I've got these really exciting plans, I need to cancel. Going with it and letting things be and opening yourself up to new opportunities and being vulnerable and getting things wrong and failing and all the rest of it.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of work that needs to be done by oneself, I think, in order to open yourself up to the opportunities and be okay with them. And
that's true. That's very true.
So, we continue down the path. It's just nice to do these sessions with you and reflect on what we've done, but also, if we can offer a bit of value to the listener, we always think about the listener. Yeah. There's a couple of themes that we want to touch on. One from yourself, exploring the health avenue of fasting. Yeah. And then one from me, and how to recover quickly from an injury. So they're two themes that it could help somebody. Yeah. So we always like to go down that angle as well.
absolutely. As well as sharing sort of the wisdom we've gained through trying to building this business and doing the podcast, meeting these people. So yeah, that's what it's about today, mate.
Yes. We're going to start with you.
Start with me. Go on then.
Come on then.
Let's go.
So you recently decided to do a 5-day fast.
A 5-day fast.
5
yes.
days.
5 days.
You've done 3 before, haven't you? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, I did 3. 72 hours before, but just went for the 5-dayer.
So let's go back there then. Some people hearing this is like, wow, that's a bit radical. I've heard of 24s, I've heard of 48s, I've heard of 72s, but whoa, this is like
5 days. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, kind of like. So what were the intention behind that, and how did that even start as a thing that you felt like you needed to do?
So we spoke the last time I did a fast, so I know all the benefits from doing a 3-day fast. And what it was is we had the beautiful blessing of our new baby boy, little Koa, in July. And naturally, I tried to keep ticking over with training and nutrition, and your sleep dips a bit, and then it kind of... I just were in that sort of transitional period of coming out of the... having another newborn baby at home. The routine had slightly slipped out a little bit, and I was just kind of searching for a reset.
Yeah.
Big reset.
You could say that again.
Yeah. I'd spent a ton of time at home with little Koa, which I'd recommend any father could do. Spend as much time as you can at home with the newborn. The government says have 2 weeks. We need more. They need the father there. You might, there's a common sort of thought around, bring them to me when they're free, but
as a father,
yeah, let the mother do it all. But there's loads of research and studies now about what impact it can have, having that fatherly figure there early doors as well. So I was very conscious of that this time.
Nice. Knowledge is power.
Correct. I'm not just plucking this out of air either. I heard some experts talking about that, the benefits of the father being there in early years, early months even.
Yeah.
So I did.
The smells and the extra skin-to-skin contact and the voice and...
Voice, interaction.
Yeah.
They know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I'm still kind of in that mindset now. I'm still trying to be there as much as I can. Obviously, you've got to continue with life.
I think it's good that you've put things in place in order to make that happen as well. You've not done it irresponsibly. You can still financially provide as well. That's the thing.
That's the thing, and
that's where we all come unstuck. I think
absolutely, and I'm aware that the financial thing is the big stopping point for a lot of people. With me myself, I'll be perfectly honest. I set the goal of my wife having our second child as a goal to build my business enough so that I could be there more in them stages, and that were a very motivating goal. And because of that, I ended up buying 2 businesses in the last 12 months that I could bolt onto my current window cleaning business. It's been fucking hard, mate.
Yeah,
it's been
I know.
very, very tough.
I know it,
because we're also building the sauna business at the same time. So building 2 businesses at the same time is very difficult, as we all know. And trying to be at home, we've got a heavily pregnant wife and tons of stress. But I made it happen. And that's the power of setting intention and goals. So I digress.
No, not really. It's all
part of it.
It's valuable.
Yeah.
It's all things that we have to consider.
Yeah. It were a big consideration. So I really used that as fuel to enable me to I had to learn how do I go and buy a business? What do you mean? And I ended up doing it twice. I must say that there's a lady called Cody Sanchez, and people might have seen her on Instagram, but she's known as they call it laundromats in the US, don't they? She's like Mrs. Laundromat because she owns loads of laundries in the US. But she talks about there's tons of profitable businesses going to the graveyard with their owners, especially from baby boomers now who are retiring and letting the businesses retire with them. So there's opportunities to kind of strike deals with people who are kind of at the back end of the career, she calls it buying boring businesses. And my window cleaning business falls under that everyday, let's call it a boring business, but highly profitable.
And needed. Everybody needs it.
Absolutely. And I'm saying this because I didn't necessarily think I were capable of buying businesses, but there is playbooks and knowledge out there to enable you to go and buy a business. So she's got a book, by the way, called The Main Street Millionaire, which I would recommend anyone goes to buy. It's about buying boring businesses. Nice. And I followed that, not verbatim, but it gave me knowledge and confidence to actually reach out to local business owners in my industry, and I've ended up striking 2 deals.
Which put you in this position now to be able to leverage some time at home. Leverage time. Boom.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's with business, you're either leveraging for higher profit or you're buying back your time. And I opted to buy time.
That's the most valuable asset that we've ever got.
Yeah. As we get older, mate, you just realise, don't you? You can have more money, but if your time's not there, it's not worth anything.
Correct. For me, anyway.
For me?
Yeah.
For me, mate, yeah.
Nice.
So getting back to that, I was able to spend more time at home, very intentionally. And I was okay that the routine dropped off a little bit and blah, blah, blah. But I got to a phase where I was like, right, okay, I'm still going to be conscious that I'm spending time at home, but I also want to get some sort of normality back with the routine outside of the house. So I opted for a 5-day fast. And
you being the savage that you are.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Nice.
But yeah, like just the general sort of population's reaction to that is there were loads of people messaging me about it, like saying, you must be mad, but you've only got to look back at history, and this was a normal thing, this used to be a normal thing. Let's take it back to hunter and gatherer times. You might go without a meal for a week or 2. So it's kind of letting your body relearn that sort of process.
And your brain.
And the brain. The first day was the toughest. The first day, mate.
Because you knew you were in for the slog.
Yeah.
Well, we were on the road halfway through it, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I thought this guy's insane because we've got a really heavy schedule coming up, lots of cognitive things going on. And I was like, I don't know how he's going to be throughout this, but I got to let you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And you were good. You pulled through absolutely fine. Your energy were good. You were sound.
Yeah. I think it's a bit of a misconception that when you've got no food, you've got no energy and you can't think. It's the complete opposite.
Yeah,
I were fucking flying.
Yeah, you were sharp.
I was sharp.
I don't know if that were your Starbucks coffee on the way down.
That might have been Starbucks coffee, yeah.
Zing.
But I had tons of energy and my mind was so clear because it made, like, let me just tell you a little story on the first day. Me, my wife and our two kids went to Trafford Centre. And one one of the restaurants there is called True Food. It's like street food, absolutely banging. One of our favourite restaurants to eat, and I knew that was going to be the hardest thing. First day, we're going to Trafford Centre, and let me just tell you, it were it was like a spiritual experience.
Okay.
So my body was walking through Trafford Centre, but my mind was like looking at everything as if to say, look at all these advertisements screaming at you that you should be eating right now. And it made me realise in that moment that food is pushed massively. I'm deciding not to eat right now, but look at all this temptation right here telling me to eat. And it just made me think like, wow, it's like an out-of-body experience I'm having here.
Yeah, like a light bulb kind of moment.
Yeah. On day one, it were like, I'm going to show you how much food is actually pushed down our necks.
Yeah, so you could see it from a different point of view.
Straight away.
Yeah.
So that were really...
It's big business, isn't it?
Yeah. That were a big moment on first day. And I sat there and I watched Jess, Bodie and Coa. Not Coa, he's obviously on breast. Mother's milk. But they sat and ate this beautiful food, and that were tough.
Yeah,
that were really tough. But mate, honestly, day 2, day 3, I got over that, and it was just pure clarity of thought and high energy.
Right up to closing.
Day 3, like you say, we went and did the podcast with Wayne Lineker.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, he'd just done a fast as well. Slightly different intentions to mine. But yeah, day 3, I were fine. So you had that nice chicken in the car on the way down. That all the
smells.
The senses are heightened, mate. We talked about that last time. So that you do smell everything more. You see brighter colours. And that's your body's way of like saying, look, there's some food there, mate, go have it.
Yeah. Was it mentally tough? You know, like for example, you're halfway in and you're like, wow, I'm halfway, and what's going on? Are you just experiencing clarity, or are you getting real mad urges for food, or are you getting any withdrawal symptoms from anything, you know, like headaches or stomach ache, or you know, what's going on physically? Do you stop going to the toilet as much? All those sorts of things as well.
I stopped, just to put it bluntly, I stopped pooing.
Yeah.
After day 2.
Right.
So, to answer your question on that, there were no major urges.
Right.
At all. There were slight little bouts of hunger, but when you're at that midway point, that was like one of the clearest moments.
Okay.
And then you start to obviously go over the other side towards your the finish line, and then you start to open yourself up again a bit to wanting food.
Yeah.
So
it's because where the goalposts are set, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
The goal's a wonderful thing, isn't it? Like we keep talking about.
Yeah.
It's giving you that reference point of as to where your marker is, and I talk about it all the time with my clients about setting goals. What's your goal right now? And I'm always asking it all the time, because it's like you don't really know what you're striving for if you haven't got it.
Exactly.
And that's the power of it, isn't it? Really.
Yeah. And I didn't have any withdrawal symptoms because this is how I chose to do it. I had black coffee, I had electrolytes, sugar-free electrolytes, and water, and that's it. So I'd have maybe 1 or 2 coffees in the morning up till about 12 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock, and then that were it. And then just water. I had electrolytes first thing in the morning. I had one tablet in the morning. And then maybe like another little half a one later on in the day before bed.
Right.
Just to keep the salt levels up there. I actually discovered on the last day, you know, the cadence drinks, what they sell at Heist, so electrolyte drinks, I could have had them because they were completely
calorie free,
no preservatives in them and all this type of stuff. But I kind of thought that it'd have felt a bit cheating because they're banging, aren't they?
Oh, they are.
They taste really nice.
You wanted to go raw, didn't you?
Yeah, they taste really nice. I had one on last day and I didn't break my fast or anything, but so yeah, overall, fantastic experience. And
did you see any other health benefits post fasting? So, for example, right, you've hit your goal, you've reopened your fast. What was that meal? Was it intentional? Was the meal intentional, or did you just eat whatever you fancied? Just give us a bit of context about that as well.
So I broke my fast with bone broth.
Okay.
And this time I wanted to do it right, because after my 3-day fast, the first time I did it, I didn't have as much knowledge back then on it, and I just like whammed straight in. I had a big fucking chili con carne, and then I ended up. I'm sure, mate. I ended up popping like a Jaffa cake or something.
Yeah.
And then full pack were gone, mate.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Like that.
Yeah.
So
that's obviously that can be seen as one of the negative sides of doing that, because it's like,
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people make that mistake of, oh, well, I'm fasting, so you know, now I can do this, and you know, it's what calories are coming back in what form, and those sorts of things. That's why it's not always the blueprint to success for health, and I think that's something that's got to be put out there as well. You know, I know a lot of people that have come to me for nutritional support, fat loss coaching, etc., and they said that they're halfway into fasting. They've been doing intermittent for 6 months or whatever, and they still might have a good 15-20 kilos to lose.
Yeah,
it's like, well, the fasting's not working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's what's returning back into the system once it closes.
Exactly.
And it's having that discipline to stay in line. You know,
and that is tough. But this time I looked at it. Bone broth is a great meal to reintroduce after a fast, because of the nutritional value in bone broth, but also the digestion.
I was just going to say it's a bit more like sensitive for the gut sort of thing.
Yeah,
well,
because there's your stomach's literally obviously shrunk.
Yeah.
And it's not used to digestion, so you've got to be very, very careful on the refeed, because you'll cause like all sorts of stomach issues if you just wham straight back in.
Yeah.
Especially on a longer fast.
Yeah.
A 5-day, 7-day, you've got to be very careful. I must be honest, I reintroduced well, and I didn't eat much for the first 2-3 days, and then I had a bit of a pig. Out, which I didn't feel great for.
In what sense?
I just ate too much, and I felt bad. Just
physically or mentally?
Physically.
Right.
Physically and mentally, really. But since then, I've kind of plateaued out from it, and the overall thing from after finishing my fast is I'm eating less.
All right.
And I'm okay. And I'm happy with it, and I feel great.
Where you at with your training? I haven't checked in with you on that for a bit.
My training, that's been a slower process getting back. I've kept ticking over.
Yeah.
Even when after Cole were born, I've kept ticking over. I might be doing one run, a strength session, and then a high intensity session 2 or 3 times a week. And then last week I decided I want to get back fully training. I've got High Rocks coming up in December with my mate Grace Ramsden. Come on, Grace.
Shout out, Grace.
Come on, Grace. So that's a good goal. But I trapped a nerve in my neck last Monday. Top of a shoulder press. Looked like I'd been sniped. Felt at floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. It were a Z press, so I was sat down.
All right.
Sat down, up to the top. Just
Took you.
fell back. Went, ah! So, unfortunately, I've not trained much since then. But I'm getting back into it now. I think we've got about 9 or 10 week block now till High Rocks.
Right.
So I'm very intentional. Getting back up to form so I can race with Grace. Race with Grace.
Nice. I like that. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah. So that's brought us up to the current day, really, mate. It's been a great process overall. I'd recommend anyone to do a fast, whether it's 24 hours, 1 day, 3 day, 5 day, 7 day. It's just good practice.
Yeah, get educated on the longer distances.
Yes,
Don't just jump straight in.
Yeah. I think me and you could maybe do this, Dan. We'll host maybe 1 or 2 per year. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Because what I did do is I put that out to the public when I were doing it last time. And there was Peffers, Haley, Carly Joe, and there were me plus 4 others in a WhatsApp group. And people were doing different lengths, but there were me and another lass did 5 days, and then the other 3 did shorter times. But it was the longest everyone had done in the group. Everyone got a personal best in fasting, and just having that accountability in there were fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Everyone were buzzing. Everyone were like celebrating milestones together, and everyone in that group were amazing. So if you're listening, shout out to you guys. That were ace.
Yeah,
that helped us through.
Yeah.
And there were a lass in there, Haley. She's great, man. She's very in touch with faith.
Okay.
So she was saying to us, like, what we're doing is quite a religious sort of practice. And she shared something along the lines, and it's from one of the scriptures, and it's something along the lines of, I am not the flesh, I am the spirit. And that's just like a stark reminder of, we're not the body, we are what controls the body. And that just made, and that can relate to a lot of things. That's
deep.
That's so deep, man. So when you're next in maybe let's say you're in the middle of a blistering workout and you wanting to stop, that little mantra now runs through my mind. I am not the flesh, I am the spirit. Amen.
Podcast reel.
But that is so powerful. That internal mantra, mate. Freaking hell. It's just a reminder.
That's the difference between winning and losing and getting through hard times and everything. It's what's going on inside here is the difference. So 100%. That's a very powerful mantra. That
it is
very powerful,
because it's like,
is that a verse from the Bible?
It's that exact quote might not be a verse, but that's the messaging of one of the verses, right. Rounded up into a short quote.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, that's a good one. Keep that one. Keep that one for your next moment of struggle. Put it in the pocket. So yeah, mate. That's that one.
Nice.
And we will announce it on our socials when we're doing the next one. I think because it'd be great to do it as a team.
The longest that I've done is a 24. And when I do it, I try go raw and not have any caffeine or anything. And I've noticed that when I have done that, it's not the food urges that I'm struggling with, it's the caffeine. I realise how much we're impacted by the craving of that drug. It is a drug at the end of the day. It's caffeine. And wanting that morning coffee just feels nice.
It does, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And just really look forward to that. And I was just thinking about having a cup of coffee all day, even just a black one. I wasn't asking for much.
Yeah.
But even when I've done a 24-hour fast, that's the thing that I've wanted the most. So
when we do it next time, say we do a 3-day, 5-day, will you opt for no coffee again? You've got to think of the withdrawal symptoms.
Yeah, I might have I don't know. It depends what I've got on in terms of my schedule, how much thinking stuff I've got to do. I don't want to be walking around with purges of headaches and withdrawals.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of doing that, but I'll have to see.
Okay. I can't wait for you to do that, mate. I think you're going to have some very thoughtful moments.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd have a lot of them anyway.
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
And give me more.
Yeah. So that rounds that up, mate. I think let's talk about your recent, let's say, mishap. You had quite a bad injury, mate, didn't you? And what I love about you, mate, you question the norm, challenge the norm, as we say, and you looked at let's say a less common way of healing from this injury, attacking it head on, shall we say. So let's talk about that, mate. How did it come about? Tell us how you got the injury, mate, and then we'll dive into it.
Yeah, so I played in a charity rugby game.
Yes.
Which was
Dan the Tank.
Very, very special moment to bring those lads together again. We've not seen each other since we were 16, some of us.
Oh, class.
And there's a bit of time that's passed by.
Yeah. Couple of years.
Few years. And just to get everyone together again, we had a couple of training sessions together. All banter flying about, old school, just straight into the nasty stuff, you know.
Yeah,
straight back into it.
Yeah, abuse.
Yeah, and then laughing at the abuse. It was so good.
Yeah.
So we did that for a friend of mine. I facilitated the event, so I sort of hosted it. Well, not hosted it, but organised it.
Yeah.
We managed to do that at Bradford Bulls, and we got a fair crowd there to watch two old rival teams go at it one last time. We did it for a friend of mine who his wife's suffering with cancer, which is incurable. She needed funds for treatment, so it just put a massive rocket up my backside to make something happen instead of just donating some funds to a GoFundMe page and then just leave it there. I thought, well, I don't feel like that's significant enough for what she needs. So that inspired me to, make this happen and come up with the idea and get people together and do it. So
what an amazing thing to do, mate. Just before you go on there, wow. And you raised a very decent chunk of money, didn't you?
We did, which will offer more time and more funds to give her the treatment that she needs, which is, the long and short of it is I basically took one for the team, In hindsight, looking at it, I should have organised it and not played in it, because the organising of the event really took it out of me, in terms of everything else that I had spinning at the time.
Common theme here, mate, isn't there?
I must learn. So to sit back and reflect on it, the stress levels were quite high, and then I had to put a kit on and perform, and we didn't hold back either. We said that there's a term in rugby when you're playing a bit of an exhibition game, a friendly game. You play a shot to stop, which means that somebody takes a carry and you put your body in where you have a bit of contact, but then they passively take that tackle and then they go down, get up, you play the ball, you continue. And we said that we'd do that. Or we didn't really know it. We're kind of like, what are we doing? Are we going to play a shot to stop or not? They kicked the game off received the ball, passed it on. Someone's taking a carry and bang. Oh,
here we go.
Not shot to stop, is it? Let's go.
Yeah.
So it became full contact after 10 seconds, if that. And then, I'll be honest, I didn't want to play. I felt tired. I felt exhausted just going out there, and then having to think about performing. I was playing fullback, so I wasn't involved in a lot of the exchanges in tackling and stuff. So, I received the ball, passed it on a few times, took some carries in, etc. But then I had to make a tackle. Somebody broke through. I've extended my arm out as he's gone to sidestep me, and as I've extended and then tackled him, as I'm in the tackle with him, I just felt a big boom, slice straight through from underneath the bicep all across my chest. It just felt like somebody done zipped me, and I just felt the pain instantly, and then I touched my shoulder area where my pec is, and I thought that doesn't feel like it used to do. So I took myself off, put a bit of ice on. I was like, I think I'll be all right. I'm all right. I was just rolling my arm around, and then after 5 minutes of not being on the field, I was like, I've done something here.
Yeah.
So I suffered a pretty severe grade 2 tear, which we're very close to being completely off the bone, and then they're worse because it's better off just coming off completely and then it detaching. But because there was some fibres hanging on, it was super painful, just to any little bit of movement, because it was so stringy. Were really painful.
That were in your pec, yeah?
In my pec, so it came off the attachment underneath, so it attaches under top end of the bicep, and then it comes across into the chest, so it'd come off there. There were just a few little bits hanging on. Lots of soreness, lots of swelling, lots of bleeding going down the arm. And I were a bit pissed about it, let's say the least. I only managed to play about 25 minutes a game, which I were gutted about, but again, it wasn't about me, it were about the cause and what we did it for, so that were that. But when I got home, I thought, right, this is an opportunity. Let's hit it head on. How fast can I get back?
And that in itself, mate, let's just dissect that. You've got two choices, haven't you? When something bad happens, you sit and mope about and fucking, you're acting sort of depressed about everything, no solution focused. But this is the other option. Is there an opportunity here? And you thought, right, there's an opportunity to try and test my knowledge and my know-how and recover as fast as I can. And that's just a nice sort of message, like, you've got two options. Sit and mope around, which you might do for a couple of hours.
I give myself a day. I give myself a day that, because I were in a lot of pain actually as well. And I did allow that to happen. But when I got home, I started taking pictures of it, because I couldn't raise my arm properly, and I was like, I'm gonna now document this journey right now. This is raw. I'll document it here right now. So top off, lack of movement, see the deformity. Right, here's what I'm going to do day by day, and I just started to, record the process. And I had an incentive there because it's my job, and it's but it was just sort of to help somebody see it, and then, I came back probably faster than the natural curve, but that's because I wanted to put it all to the test and do it all right. Of course. From my recovery to, my sleep patterns, my, getting in the sauna, shout out to boys at Heist. Doing all of that, my protein intake, increasing my calories, and I can talk a little bit about that and why and when and etc. So from any injury that occurs, whether it be soft tissue, which is muscle, or connective tissue, tendons, ligaments, there's a different time scale involved to the recovery. The majority of my injury was soft tissue, so I were quite lucky in the fact that it were very, very painful, but it were getting better quickly. You know, ligaments and tendons take longer, and sometimes they need operating on. I didn't know if my chest did initially because I didn't know the extent of the damage, but I felt comforted in knowing that I had joint stability. So that's one of the things. I have stability in a lot of ranges, so I know that it's not completely detached, and I could actually physically see it as well, that there were bits hanging on. But from the time of the injury, you've got your bleeding phase and your inflammation phase. So that phase can take from the hours of it starting going into, you know, the first couple of weeks. It can still be the inflammation stage of the injury.
Well, I didn't realise it could last that long.
Yeah, so from hours to weeks, the inflammation stage can be there, and in that time frame, it's advised to increase your calories. So that's exactly what I did. So some people might think I'm not as active, so I'm gonna, you know, hold it. I don't feel like eating, for example, I'm off my food and then not eat. You need to eat, because that's the inflammation stage. Your body needs to recover, so it needs the calories, because it's messing with your BMR, because your body's having to work overtime to deal with what it's dealing with. So you need the calories there. So knocking them up a little bit is advised at that point, and that's what I did for the start of it.
Quick one there, and it's going back to the game, but I want to show people, because you scored a try, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You missed that bit out, mate. Why did you miss that bit out?
Well, I don't like to brag about stuff like that.
Right, can we put a clip up of Dan's try, please? Because I was very impressed at that, mate.
Thank you.
Impressed. You little dip and a bop, a dip and a bop.
Little dummy.
Little dip and a bop.
It were a bit of a thing with that back in the day. It was funny, actually, because my dad used to be his coach.
All right. Okay.
And my dad... Shout out Big Phil.
Big shout to you, Phil.
My dad had this thing when I were growing up as a kid in the living room, and we used to practice throwing dummies with the cushion.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So if I were like playing halfback or playing fullback, and I'd be like chiming in that line and running across, my dad would go, cushion. And I'd just go, and then go through, because he could see the gap. He could see it, and he'd prompt me to throw the dummy. So he'd say cushion. Yeah. So
we dad there
basically, my dad were on the sideline, and it was weird, because the last try I ever scored at Odsall in the academy when I played at Bradford was in the same corner.
Was it?
Yeah.
What a beautiful moment.
So yeah, I received the ball out wide, threw a cushion, scored. Yeah. And I went off after my injury, and my dad went, "Nice cushion." I went, "Yeah, cheers, Dad."
There we
nice
go.
moment, that.
Yeah,
nice moment.
Oh, yeah. Mate, I love that. So yeah, getting back to the recovery, mate. So the inflammation, you've got through that stage, you've upped your calories. Now what's the next phase? Because what I was proper impressed with of how you went about it was you really went into the weeds of the details of it, didn't you? In terms of what should I be doing, what's common knowledge, but what's a bit more uncommon knowledge about how to recover faster from an injury. And you said something to me along the lines of you were back on the fucking pec deck or whatever it was, like training the muscle, but only to a certain degree. And I thought, wow, this... Because let's be honest, when people get injured, and I've been guilty of this, you know what you're recommended to do, but most of the time you don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
You think, you know, it'll recover by itself.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that next.
So after the inflammation stage, which I were, you know, once I got past that hill, I then just went back down and brought my calories naturally down, because I thought, well, I don't need the surplus now. Yeah. And my activities have definitely dropped a hell of a lot. But one of the mindset things is control the controllables first. You know, people don't do the rehab because they're not they're not taking ownership of the current situation. And it's like, yeah, okay, we've been dealt a shit one, so what we're going to do about it? And I'd say is, well, okay, I had an upper body injury. I was still doing my morning cardio.
Nice.
I was still getting on a bike, you know, and I was still getting on the treadmill, incline walking. I wasn't running because of the degree of the injury. But I was doing what I could do just to raise my spirits. Exercise is medicine. So if you're going through some shit, keep doing it. What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do
there's
is the question.
There's so many.
Okay, I've got one arm that's out of action. I've got loads of other options.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of exercises that I could do. I could still leg press. I could still hack squat. I could still bodyweight lunge. I could still do a lot of, hamstring and lower body exercises. So I was doing them.
Yeah, love that.
Straight back in the mix.
Yeah, because a lot of people will think I'm injured, so I'm stopping moving completely.
Yeah, and it's the uncertainty of causing further damage.
Yeah.
So you do have to be cautious. You can't go in blind to that, you know. But after the inflammation stage, you've got the profiling of the muscle, and then you've got the remodeling of the muscle. So the profiling part of the muscle building is touch and go. You can cause further damage. You 100% can. But what I started to do is pain-free movement. So, right, where's it hurting? It pinches a bit there, right? I will not go beyond this point. And I'm now going to rep the life out of it. Rep.
Up
Blood,
until the moment of
blood. Get it in. Because the blood flow is the healing.
Yeah.
So, very light, very cautious, sensible.
Yeah.
But rep the life out of it, because that's what's bringing blood flow back into that area to help the recovery process.
Yeah.
Coupled with the right nutrition, water intake, sleep, saunas, ice baths, all of it.
All the controllables.
Then it could progress to, now I can move on to this movement, and now this movement's pain-free, so now I'm going to rep this bit. And now I can start loading it, and then I can be a bit more expressive with the types of exercises, to the point where I was quite happy about this one. I got back to doing more sort of CrossFit movements, which I enjoy doing. Yeah. And I was doing toes to bar and bar muscle ups on week 7. It were like on the day of week 7. Yeah. And I nailed a bar muscle up with a completely torn pec 7 weeks previous, and I was like, I'm quite happy about that. I'm quite happy about it.
That's going against everything, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, is that advisable? Absolutely not. If I were under, if somebody were under my care with it, I would not have told them that this is going to be a smart move. But you know when you know, and I know my body, and that's the thing about that as well. Yeah. So I'm not saying that that's the thing to do, or to strive for. I'm really not.
But it's possible.
But it happened.
Yeah. Wow.
And I will say this too, I went out of the woods. So once I'd finished that session, I felt no pain, nothing. But when I finished, a bit of bruising came out. Okay. So I wasn't done. Yeah. And that's the bit that I do want to make clear as well. I'm going to be truthful about that. Yeah. It was one of them where I was like, I'm kind of turned on by this new goal here. How quick can I get back? Yeah.
That's a good goal, mate.
So, but yeah, that was the only thing. I pushed the time on it a little bit too quick. Yeah. But that's just, I am who I am.
Yeah. That's you. That's the Ram.
It's me.
I love, the bit that stands out for me in that whole process is, which is just so like, I've never heard it before. The movement where, you're moving it until it pinches and then just repeat blood flow. But that's like so uncommon knowledge, that to me. And, anyone listening, it's worth taking that in, isn't it? Because it is possible to get your body moving quicker. Not full range. But
yeah, no. And that it can be anything. It can be tendinitis, tennis elbow, coming back from knee rehabilitation, whatever that is, find your range and rep it.
Yeah.
And does it hurt? No. Do you feel a bit of an amber sort of warning sign of if you keep going, you're going to do some further damage? Stop just before you get there and go.
Yeah.
That's the message with this. And
love that, mate.
Yeah, hopefully someone can take some value out of that.
Yeah, absolutely, mate, because it can apply to any sort of injury. It's a process, isn't it? So
yeah, it's a new process, and what I'd say is, just have that new goal. And I know it's really important to a lot of people that they stay fit and healthy. Training is some people's saviour. Mentally, it makes them stay in their groove. So getting injured can really mess somebody up mentally, obviously as well as physically. But I'd just say, right, shit's hit the fan. You've now got a new goal immediately. So how quick can we get back responsibly? And that's how sort of fast that particular injury took me.
Love that, mate. What were the total timescale then from that night at Odsal under the lights, scoring the try, tearing your titty off, to, like, let's say, normal training routine? What were the timescale?
Oh, normal training routine. 7 weeks, to getting back to doing most things that were, Olympic lifting moves and, lifting heavy bar overhead and then doing gymnastics work, getting back up to handstand push-ups, those sorts of things.
What were the conventional, would you say, recovery time? Let's say you go to a GP, you show them this injury. What do they normally say?
Yeah, they probably give you about, for something along those lines, about 12 weeks. Right. Minimum.
So you've shaved some time off, haven't you?
Yeah, I did hyperbaric chamber as well, by the way.
Hyperbaric down at Ice again.
One, actually, but they do have one, so if you do need that, then check them out. Yeah. But yeah, thanks to Will. He was recovering from an injury at the same time. Will Price.
Big shout out, lad.
Cheers, Will. So I went in and used that because he was recovering from his at the same time. So I went down there and got some fresh oxygen in the system. Just anything that you can do to speed up the process, get on it, go, get it done.
Love that.
I had an incentive, don't get me wrong, it's my job, it's it's what I'm talking about to people, but I just wanted to kind of prove what were possible as well.
Yeah. Very valuable, mate. Love that, pal. So we've spoke about my fasting, your injury. That's nearly taken up the full time. I can't believe that.
Really?
We've gone, haven't we?
Oh wow, we went there.
We've gone, but we're in the flow. But let's talk, to round this up, mate, we're going to kind of announce something at the end. And, let's talk about kind of the last 6 months of the business. Let's go back to, say, what would it be, like January, February time?
Yeah.
We'd obviously just started with the barrel saunas. We'd moved from the ice baths. We'd kind of worked out how to design and manufacture.
It's actually a year ago.
Barrel saunas. That's a year ago, isn't it? I think we officially launched it like January though, didn't we? I think.
Yeah.
Officially.
But we had the prototype ready in October.
Yeah. So within that time period, mate, we gained some momentum. We've had some beautiful success stories from that time. Learned a hell of a lot, obviously, more about the back end of the business, of the costings, the profits. And one thing we said, mate, is we're not gonna compromise quality.
Yeah.
And we're sticking to that.
Yeah.
We could have quite easily just gone, fuck it, we'll get them from China. Cheaply made. We can offer them cheap.
Or get cheaper materials.
But
it just didn't sit well with us from the previous experience. So
there's something inside of us that wants to make these products and source the products from our own country, feeding it back into our own people, supporting our own country, and building the highest quality products. And we're not going to budge from that. You know, other companies have, and you know, you see it, they're offering a lot cheaper. With the barrel saunas, we've sourced everything locally. Highest quality timber, highest quality heaters, craftsmanship, everything. And because of that, we are at the top end of the price bracket in terms of, you know, everyone else in the country offering this. And because of the process, you know, it's just me and you. We've had to find the manufacturing team. We've run into a few issues on, actually, is it sustainable for us as a business, profit-wise? And it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had to adapt. But let's just unpick a couple of moments from the barrel saunas and that early process, because there's some really beautiful examples of what we've created so far. Starting with Cruise, really.
Yeah.
Cruise were the first build. And we've become really close friends with Cruise since doing that, and even that in itself is a great success. But I were up at his house only a couple of weeks ago, and bear in mind this is 12 months after we've built it now, and Cruise literally said to me, I like being in that sauna more than I like being in my house. And he goes, if you asked me to choose one or other, I'd pick the sauna.
Wow.
So it's become a really sacred sort of habitual space for him and Grace. I know that him and Grace like to use it together. But every night he's in it. And just hearing, even just that one story of hearing how it's impacted, you know, people like that is enough for me. And obviously now we've had to adapt and make the business sustainable and more profitable. Yeah. But there's a guy, one of your clients as well.
Yeah. Shout out Adam. Yeah, he recently shared with me his Whoop data, right. Specifically centred around the sauna. And I think it was April time-ish, something like that, when he purchased.
Yeah.
So from then until now, he's shown his data over time, and you can see his recovery data consistently going up.
Yeah.
Straight.
That's so cool. And has he said he's using it like every night? Or
4 times a week on average.
4 times a week. That's good.
Yeah. So between 4 and 7 is the recommended frequency of the sauna to get all of the benefits, that people are speaking about from the Finnish studies that came out in 2023, I believe. So yeah, he's on the cusp of that threshold, and his data is going up. I've seen it myself, you know. So it's just things like that. It's just knowing that we've done a good thing there.
Yeah, we have, mate, and
that feels good.
It feels good. The fact that they've got a young family, and his wife Susie. Yeah, I remember her commenting on one of the posts, like just saying, we absolutely love our sauna. You know, we're in it most nights, and I was thinking, wow, that's beautiful. Love that. But I just keep thinking back to like I've always like dreamed of having a sauna in my garden or at my house, and now it's something that we're actually doing for people. It's just like, this is mint.
Yeah. Pending
as well. I'm going to be building one in my back garden, so we'll keep everyone updated with that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, I'll make sure little Bodie and Co are getting it nice and young.
Yeah,
as well as Jess.
That's it.
But yeah, mate, you know, we had a few more examples like that with the barrel saunas. The process, the operational side of it, the profit just wasn't sustainable. So we've had to quickly adapt, and we've gone into building fully bespoke saunas. We've got our own team. We're not using anyone third party, which has obviously helped the profit side of things as a business. We've built our first fully bespoke sort of 12-14 person sauna, Finnish sauna, down at a local boxing club, Halifax Boxing Club. That process was challenging, to say the least, but unbelievable as well. I'll be perfectly honest. We walked into that club. Mick had said, "I want a sauna." We just presumed that he wanted a barrel sauna.
Well, I had my tape measure out, measuring up.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, it'll fit in here."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was like, No. I want it like this.
Yeah.
I'm like,
oh okay.
Let's try.
Yeah. In that moment, we were presented with an opportunity to build a bespoke sauna. It was in the thoughts, but we didn't know when it was going to be presented. And that's when you kind of sink or swim. You know, it's like, let's go for it. We'll work it out. You know, it gave you the shivers a bit, didn't it? But I just knew the way we operate. I knew we knew we were going to get it done. You know, it was scrappy. But now that we've done that first build, we know the full process. We've got the full team, and now we're repeating that over and over again. And
it's like what I talk to my clients about. If they're doing a lift that they've never done before, and the first lift, it can be a bit scruffy.
Yeah.
So hear that.
Yeah.
But you get better and you refine it when you go back in and you go again and again and again. So it's just one of them. It's like, just start. And yeah, we didn't get it perfect, and you know, there were a lot of things that could have been ironed out much differently, but we're here now and we've learnt loads about that.
Cracky. Yeah.
So
we've learnt that I should never pick up a tape measure.
We know that bit too.
I took a measurement and it was completely wrong, and we ordered. How you
did that?
We ordered the completely wrong quantity for some materials, but that was you know, I stepped into the role as like sort of project. I'm like a project manager of a construction project. I'm like, how the fucking hell have I got here? Don't know the first thing about it, but one thing I do know about is putting the right people in the right places.
Yep.
So that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
And now we are where we are. We've got some experience and knowledge, and now the business has slowed down sales wise. We've gone deeper into what we want to offer. It's slowed down, but it's completely fine because it suits the lifestyle more.
Yeah. Plenty of irons in the fire.
Irons in the fire. We're quoting for projects now that are like massive projects compared to what, you know, just building a barrel in someone's garden. So we've levelled up.
Sending an ice bath.
Sending an ice bath that's most likely going to break within 3 days. So, you know, the evolution has been unbelievable. And what I love about this is every sauna now starts with a conversation and not the click of a button on a website. And that pace is just it's just completely different. It's every project is based upon a relationship.
Yeah, and it feels better. That
feels beautiful, man. You're sitting with someone and designing their sort of dream sauna
for business or for home.
business or for your home, for your family,
or club,
or anything. So that's kind of the evolution, really, which brings us on to the announcement. And Dan, I'll let you take the mic for this one, because within this process you've had a bit of a realisation.
Yeah. So I made a decision to step down as director because I felt like I was dropping the ball in lots of different areas. You know, I always say it, and even when I'm looking at, I felt hypocritical, because if I'm talking to a client about goals within their fitness journey, for example, I'd be saying things like, you need to stay in your lane, you need to have single focus on what the goal is until we get there. And I wasn't doing that because I were spinning too many plates and building two businesses. I've been an established coach for many years, but I was building my community at exactly the same time as building Immerse. So it just became a point of something had to give, because I didn't feel like I was doing anything particularly well, which didn't feel good for me. My integrity were not allowing that. Not for you either, because I didn't feel like I were putting the same amount of efforts in. You were scaling your stuff back, as you mentioned earlier. You put yourself in a position where you had more time to give, and I were going in a different direction. But then we're both, 50-50 directors on paper, and that didn't feel good to me. Personally, and for you, as a friend to you, I was like, nah, this can't continue. So I'm a shareholder, and I'm not leaving, because I love what we've done up to now.
Not fucking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving, man. And I love this, I love podcasting. We so rich. It's so fulfilling doing this stuff, the people that we meet and stuff like that, and the networking and everything else that comes of it, and the enjoyment of it, and being your mate first and foremost goes beyond business. So I wanted to keep that, and you did as well. So I'm still going to continue with the podcast. I'm still obviously going to have massive interest in what we're doing, and try put us in positions where the business can grow. But in terms of the operational side of the business and the 50-50 directors deal, then I had to make a decision to step down from that.
So just to let people know, like, Dan's not going anywhere for the podcast, so don't worry, guys. We're talking about the sauna business. Can I just say, well, first of all, the journey up to now has been brilliant, and I won't change anything for the world. But the best thing to come out of it is the relationship we have, and the fact that you have that much integrity to step down when this is looking like it's potentially a rising ship that's just testament to what sort of man you are. I just want to say I respect you massively, and I love you, mate.
Thank you. Back at you, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you. I sensed where this was going, and now it was going to blow up. And I always said from day one, I love what I do already. Coaching, developing the youth, stuff like that. It lights my soul up, and I'll never stop doing that. And I said that straight out of the gate, didn't I?
Yeah.
So, it just came a point where I could feel that the ball was about to drop over the end of the hill. And when that workload really starts to ramp up, which I have no doubt it's going to do very, very shortly, because of the other things, the conversations that are going on, and like we said, the iron's in the fire. So I was like, something's got to give here, and I can't compromise on my family, and I can't compromise on what I already love doing. So I have to be real, and it was a really difficult decision to make it as well. That was not an easy decision, but it's for the greater good of everything, I think.
Absolutely. And it's a great example of, if someone's listening and they are in business, in a partnership, the communication is so paramount to everything. You could have quite easily, just carried on as we were, and just collecting cash. But the thing is, with you, it's not. It's an internal value sort of thing. You're a very honest man, very real guy, and I think that's a message to people who are in business with each other. Just have open conversation about anything that's bugging you. Otherwise, it can turn sour really quickly.
Well, something that we do, don't we, quite regular. Whenever we speak on the phone or we see each other in person, we go, with personal stuff. We like how's fitness. It's the F's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fitness, finances, and
family. Yeah.
We talk about those things.
I think we've got another F to add to it soon. Faith. We've got 4 Fs to go out there. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
But they're good questions. Just quickly run through that. So,
yeah. So when we were checking in, it's how's your family?
Yeah.
How's your fitness?
Yeah.
And how's your finances?
How's your finances? And how's your faith? They're great. That's just a great conversation starter for anyone, really. So that's another good takeaway.
I said that to one of my mates once, and he wanted mood for it, and he went fucked.
All fucked.
Yeah.
All the F's are fucked. That's a belter. Well, mate, do you know what? That were really beautiful, and I thank you again for spending this valuable time. And I hope people enjoyed that sort of recap, and I hope they took some value from it. Like I said before, we will continue as we are doing the podcast. The business is going to continue to grow at its own pace. We're going to be building some exciting bespoke saunas for people, for businesses, for homes. And we've got some unreal guests lined up for
Very
the podcast.
exciting.
Let's just say this. We've got a trip to London planned for the 12th of November. And we're going to be doing a double whammy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that's going to be awesome. One of the hottest, let's say, running brands right now. We're speaking to the founder and an old flame, someone that a lot of people know, shall we say, one of our most successful guests, podcasts even. We're going for round 2, all in the same day, so that's going to be awesome. And just really grateful of the opportunities that this podcast continues to provide for us and for people listening.
Yeah, and just want to say thank you to people that do continue to tune in and listen, because without that, we won't be doing this. You know, it's giving us the incentive to continue and to make it grow and to strive for, more improvement and, reaching out to these unbelievable guests and stuff. And it's just, it's a beautiful journey to be on. So I'm not leaving, not a chance.
We're not leaving.
No chance.
We're not leaving. So we wish you all good health, wealth and prosperity. And we'll see you on the next episode. Peace and love.
Cheers.
Cheers. Go on, my lad. 1:30.